my name is Faber, and this is my husband, Robert. Welcome back to the Sky Princess Cruise Vlog series. Today is June 5th, 2025, and we are in Helsinki, Finland. Today we have a princess excursion called Easy Helsinki by Land and Sea, and we are very excited to spend the day in this beautiful country. This is our first time here. So thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe. It is free, and we will see you around Helsinki, Finland. I wanted to show you at every single port of call, Princess has delivered this to our room. And it's a bunch of information about the port you're going to, like how to walk into town, how to get places quickly, like if you don't have a Princess excursion or an excursion at all, what you can do, the hop-on, hop-off buses, just all the information. It's actually very, very interesting. And I really appreciate it. We have found out a lot about the little cities and towns we've been to just from this piece of paper. Also sent this piece of paper, which I'm going to put on the screen. Both of these have been on the screen for you. They've sent this, which is each port of call, a little bit of information. And then on the back here, as we are sailing in and out of the ports, what to look out for, what you're going to see. Seriously, this has just been the best. I really appreciate it. I don't know if this is specific to European cruises or the team on this ship or what, because this is our first European cruise. But let me just tell you, we love this. This piece of paper has sat up on the wall. I asked for a second one so that if this one got messed up, I had a nice one to show you on the screen, because it's just been sat out on the on our stuff up here with my cameras and my keepsakes. So I could know what to look for. This morning we did miss the lighthouse at 7 a.m. I confused myself with another time, but we're going to pass it again tonight at 8:45. So we'll definitely be out there looking for it. So it's still broad daylight at 8:45. There's the hop-on, hop-off bus right there. Princess did give us some information about that. 22 stops every 20 minutes. So I would assume it comes and it picks up every 20 minutes. So that's very nice. It is a 45-minute walk into town. So it's quite far. So you do have to pay for the hop-on, hop-off bus. And I'll put it up on the screen. I've got it in the piece of paper that they put in the cabin. So there's everybody hopping on their tour. I'm so excited to see everything today. It's going to be great. I have to say, Princess has done a great job. It's been nice and organized. The tours have been nice and organized. The only complaint I had was in the castle. There were too many tours. It was in Germany. There were just too many tours at one time in the castle, and you couldn't see, you couldn't see everything, and you couldn't hear. And that one I, was a little disappointed in. Wasn't the tour guide's fault. It was just too many tours at one time. So, oh look, souvenirs right there. Right there in the port. Captive audience. So there you go. We're headed down to the theater and getting ready to go get this day started in Finland. Yay! Here we go. We are group number 13, my lucky number, my birth date. And we're going to have a wonderful day. So once we start to move, I'll join you back. About to start heading out. The tail end of group 12, then we're group 13. Down. Don't worry, if you have mobility issues, there are elevators. They will assist you. Not to worry. Here we go. We are almost in Helsinki, Finland. Almost. Welcome to Helsinki, Finland. Yay! Good morning. All right, I think group bus 13 is right here. There we go. You're on the bus.
Tervetuloa Helsinkiin.
Thank you.
That was a sample of my mother tongue Finnish, meaning, of course, a very good morning and welcome to Helsinki. Let me introduce the most important person in this coach. Sitting next to me, you agree? Yes. Our driver, his name is Matti. And I'm going to be your guide, Tuula, Tuula.
Beautiful name.
A very, very typical name for a Finnish woman of my generation. And And what are we going to do today? We'll begin with a short sightseeing tour in the city with the Sibelius Monument and with the Senate Square. And after that, we're going to have a cruise between the islands surrounding Helsinki. And at the end, you're going to have a short free time on the market square before taking the bus back to the harbor. But if you wish to stay downtown, there are shuttle buses. But I think I'm going to tell about them a bit later, okay? Otherwise you might forget. Yes, and please fasten your seatbelts. They are obligatory in the European Union.
Very nice. See?
And then simply, let's start. Are you ready for an adventure in Helsinki, capital city of Finland since 1812?
Yes, let's go. Did you hear what she said?
She said, wear your seatbelt.
That's right. Wear your seatbelt. Wear it. Thank you.
Okay, let's begin with a very short and concentrated history of Finland. You may know that Finland in Finnish is called Suomi. Very long time ago, this part of Europe used to be like a no man's land, just with nomads. But then, during the Middle Age, the Swedes decided to come over the water from the west, and the area was made Österlandet, the eastern land. That means an eastern province of Sweden. And there were always wars between Sweden and Russia in those days. After one of them, the so-called Finnish War, Finland was annexed to Russia because the Swedes, they lost the war. And Finland became even an autonomous Grand Duchy of Russia with a diet of its own. A stiff, old-fashioned diet with 4 estates. But that was already something. Finally, during the Russian Revolution, in December 1917, Finland became independent. But we are so few here, just 5.7 million inhabitants in the whole country. Most of us live in the south and in Lapland, beyond the Arctic Circle, in the country of the only and real Santa Claus. There are very few people living. Instead, there are reindeer and in summer times, millions of mosquitoes. Quite a nuisance. On our front right, there used to be a brewery, Sinebrikov. It moved away already decades ago, but we have some souvenirs left, like a red tram called Sporakov, making a city tour, and on your way you can have a beer or two, because at the same time the tram is a small pub, small and elegant pub. A nice way of having a look at this city. This complex now on our right hand side is Stockmann's, the biggest and best known department store in whole Finland. This main building from the 1930s, now on our right hand side, is made of dark red brick, and you know, the very first escalator of whole Finland was constructed in this building. And it was really something in those days. Yes, people came from countryside just in order to be able to ride on the escalator. It was really exciting. Building with some glass too. It's our main, it's our central library called Ordin, much more than just a library, I can tell you. Then follows one more very modern building on the right hand side, our music house. Not very old, 6 or 7 years old, with an underground concert hall for 1,700 persons, and smaller halls for other kinds of music. On your right hand side, if you look at your city map, you will find the Döle Bay in the middle of the peninsula. It's one part of the Finnish Gulf, which is a part of the Baltic Sea, and on the rocky hill on our front right, our amusement park Linnanmäki from early 1950s. On our front right there are, for example, tram halls. Well, we love our trams and we have had such vehicles since 1891, and the first ones were with horsepower, driven by horsepower, and then in 1900 they got electricity. And on the area there is even a small and cozy tram museum, something especially for the kids. They can play there in the trams, and that's really exciting, and they have a lot of fun.
Our first stop is here at the park, where we're going to find the restrooms and look around. Oops. There we go. There's the monument. Very interesting, very cool. It looks wooden, but it's metal. Did she fall?
Slip.
No, it's my favorite kind of jewelry, the jewelry made from spoons and fork. Look, so pretty. Oh my goodness, lovely. Beautiful. Of course I picked up one. She's right here. No, you're fine. She's right here at the market. She makes them all by herself. 25 years she's been doing this. We have geese crossing the road. Run, babies, run. All the cars are stopping and waiting for mommy and daddy to get the babies across. And this is what I picked up. That was a nice little stop.
Are those 4 lantern carrying guys that live together with us. They know what's going on. As we had the World Championship of Ice Hockey here, they used to wear ice hockey uniforms. During COVID, they had masks on, and now, because we are going to have the birthday of Helsinki on the 12th of June, they are wearing ceremonial uniforms.
It is time to go on our little harbor cruise, or our island cruise. It is about 6 blocks to the boat, and this is the only place that they can stop. So there is a bit of walking, do keep that in mind, and the surfaces are quite uneven. So do keep that in mind. It was mentioned by a few on the bus that that was not talked about in the brochure, so perhaps we need to make that known here.
Once more about the Senate Square. The first building designed by Carl Ludwig Engel, who had been working in St. Petersburg, is the Senate building on your left-hand side. Nowadays our government palace. In the middle, Alexander II, who was a good Tsar. He gave the Finns new privileges, but he was assassinated in St. Petersburg in 1881, and after that the time for the Finnish people was really sad.
There are restaurant huts in the Senate Square. So cute. She said it's about the 3rd summer they've had them. Look at the cobblestones coming up here. Wow. So cool. This is just so cool. There's a market there, sweaters. We are definitely going to look at some Finnish wool sweaters. The Helsinki half marathon tomorrow, so wow. Vegetables, potatoes. Oh, look at that salmon. Yummy. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. What is that? And me. Lose my husband. Hold on. The salmon smells amazing. Amazing. Everybody's cooking. So, oh, I want to get some jam. Oh. Right, here we go. This is the Emma. We're gonna go up for sure. We want to go up.
3 marks there, so they will be
Wow.
underneath. I have no idea how to open that thing, but I guess we will find out then. Always follow the cruise instructions. If the microphone works, do the instructions. Okay. And there is actually Wi-Fi. And the password for the Sun Lines guest Wi-Fi is Sun Lines.
They
With
are out
capital
there
S
swimming.
and capital L.
Amazing.
Okay? And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. If you need anything, Tula and myself, we are here. Sauna.
Yeah, I wonder if the
One
pool
of
is
our many
heated.
public saunas. This little wooden building. Behind is the Ferris wheel. And I'm already mentioning it now, but we will re-mention it then when we come back. Behind the Ferris wheel, this is where our buses are going to wait, which we will board after we return from this little tour and you have had free time on the market. But
Yes.
we will repeat all this. Green roof, this is MJK, our yacht club, sailors club. And you can see, when you see the flags, we have a German guest there right now, and there is always the Ukrainian flag. And it's very typical, these islands, they are these roundish rock islands. The Finnish granite that was left over after the Ice Age is very hard. All the other rocks were crushed away by the ice. Because in the winter, in
You have
a
to take
really
the boats
normal,
out.
classical Finnish winter, the Baltic Sea freezes over. Which is why we have icebreakers. We will see them later on, I hope. And so these little ships here, they are going to be crushed if they are not taken. And the red roof, this is Klippan, the island, and this is actually a summer restaurant that you could rent if you want to have a big wedding or you have a company event. When the ice melted, that was so heavy that ice shelf that it pressed down the land. And since the ice age lifted 10,000 years ago, the land is rising out of the Baltic Sea. So Finland is actually growing every year. Here in the south, it's about 2 to 3 millimeters. On the west coast, it's about 8. And so there is constantly rocks and islands growing up from underneath, and between Finland and Sweden there is one of the largest ship cemeteries in Europe. Tradition in the summer that you pack up your carpets and you go to one of these carpet washing places, and this is jetties in the water with wooden tables. So the carpet goes on the table and then you get water from the Baltic Sea and you moisten them, and you have this biodegradable soap that they have had here. So it was so-called Gibraltar of the North. And it was a combined military base for the army and for the navy. And we are going to see to the right, this is actually the dry dock, a shipyard, which was one of the largest of Europe in the 18th century, which is where they constructed a new type of fleet. Because Peter the Great, as you may know, he was a very well-educated Tsar, and he actually was a shipbuilder, and he learned how to build ships that were able to navigate these waters between all these islands. And that is how he had this advantage, that he was actually able to conquer these Finnish provinces from Sweden, because Sweden was a sea power. They had these big wooden ships that were for fighting in the open sea, but not in these archipelago areas. And so on the right here, this is the shipyard where they then developed a new type of fleet that was able to combat these Russian fleets that were navigating these tricky waters with all the rocks and all the islands in between. They were shallower, they were smaller, they were easier to maneuver. And still today, this is a shipyard, it's a working shipyard. If we go to the North Harbor, which I assume we will go to see the icebreakers, there are a lot of old wooden sailing ships, and they are in this dry dock in the winter, and then they are taken out in spring. And so this is a working shipyard. On the left side, there is still today a military base, so our Navy still has a training center there. And we also have here, I think, the largest sauna in the whole of Finland, where you can actually fit in, I don't know, how many people? 200? Going to enter through the King's Gate. And the King's Gate will be on the left. This was the former main entrance to the fortress. On the left is the oldest part of the fortress. And you can see these yellowish round hills right here at the rim. That used to be walls as well, but they were bombed to pieces during the so-called Crimean War in 1855. There are some large plates, we cannot see what's written on them, but I like the one. It says on one of these two granite slabs that Finland stand on their own, more or less, and do not trust on help from outside, because they can get it very easily. So this is pretty much for me the essence of Finland. They are standing on their own land and they try to trust. And then you see our own last luckily on the left of this festival. During World War II, Finland did 5 of these systems. After the World War, they had to scrap that, and this was over this, so it's now in Europe. And in the near future also for trams.
Walkers,
That
bike riders,
means
and
that the
trams for that
cars
bridge only.
Driving to Rajasalo, they have to make the grand tour. Disconnected from Russia and is, so to speak, part of the Greek Orthodox Church. On the left is the casino, and I guess Emma is going to turn around very soon, and then we will pass the icebreakers. You probably saw that already. And the North Harbor with liquid gas, and they are multifunctional. They could lay cables on the ground or help to prevent an oil spill or things like that. They also have, of course, a sauna, and it's a very interesting job because the whole summer is free. And then in the winter, you are, of course, on the road. In the front and in the back, they have these screws. What are they called? These things. So, turn on the spot. And you also see that they have these little triangle in the back with these green rubber mattresses. So these big container ships or freight ships, once they get stuck in the ice, even if they break the ice, they can't start off by themselves again. Because the ice is attached, it quickly glues itself to the body of the ship, and so they have these metal ropes at the end, and so they actually sometimes they have to pull these big ships. So they start moving again. With your tour bus now, please tell us.
Now we're going to walk through the market and walk through the shopping. So we'll see you in just a little bit. I'll show you what we pick up. I'm so sorry I didn't show you the market. I was FaceTiming with my kids the whole time, taking orders. It was amazing to walk through. There's so many different foods, lots of salmon and sausage. And of course I did get sweaters, and Boo Bear got a present too. Well, let's zoom in. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we've turned a corner. We're gonna look and see if Lidl's in here. Wow. Espresso house. Okay, wow. It kicks. Oh. Wow. So beautiful. I need to look what gluten-free is in Finnish. Oh, excuse me. So pretty. Wow. There's the Lidl. Right there. All right. So if you don't have a Lidl, it's very much like Aldi, but it's Lidl. It's very much the same concept. Very nice. The pizza does look really good at this restaurant right here, Neapolitan style pizza. Delicious looking, delicious. So if you need to, where's the oven? Oh, it's a Neapolitan pizza oven. Look at that. Oh yeah, come eat here. You won't regret it. Says the person who's never eaten there but would if she could. Kicks. Looks like an Ulta or a Sephora. It looks like a Sephora. Oh, okay, and there's the train station. So we're like underground. This was in here?
Yeah.
City Center. Yeah, we're in the city center, and it's like this in London. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's like this, sorry, in London where you have the big shopping center down with the trains. It's really cool. This is something I really like. I don't remember if they had this in New York or not. I really don't think that they did, but I could be wrong. I could just not have gone into the places where they had it. Back that way. So, seriously, these cities that have train stations, they're so cool. Now listen, I don't live in New York. I don't live in Chicago. I don't live in places where they have train stations like this. I live in Texas, and you drive everywhere in Texas. So for me, this is a very interesting idea. It's a very interesting concept, and like there's lots of fun stuff down here. I mean, we spent most of our time down here. Now we need to go back up outside. We did go through the markets and stuff outside. We did thoroughly enjoy that. Look at this building. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So gorgeous. Here is a wool and linen store. Don't miss it. It was lovely. Lovely. We had a great time in there. Back to the buses and back to the ship. So it is €6 per person to get back. So off we go. The buses are just over here to the right of the square. So, and they run every 20 minutes. Had a great day in Helsinki. Look at the boats. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna walk along here. You can't see it, it's behind that big boat right there. But it's the yellow and white bus, and that is the shuttle back and forth to the port. So we'll see you when we get around the bend here. Maybe I'll put a map up on the screen. See, there's one. There's two more right there. Three more actually. 2, 3, I don't know, there's more right there. And it says right in the front, Sky Princess Shuttle. All right, we'll see you on board. We are on the shuttle bus. There are no seatbelts, but we are on the shuttle bus. And it was €6 each. How tired are you, Robert?
I'm ready to go back on the ship, having some dinner.
Yeah, we're hungry. We didn't eat breakfast this morning. Here we are. Look at the little tuk-tuk bikes. So cute. I don't know if they're called tuk-tuk. That's what we call them. Look at the houses out there on those little islands. Wow. Oh my goodness. What is that? Little things sticking out. What are those? A little bunker on that one. Look at that. Looks like a fort. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that must be something official. So cool. Must have boats in our way. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you'll subscribe. It is free. And we will see you in the next one from Tallinn, Estonia. We are very excited. See you next time. Bye.